My name is Peskin, and I am the elected supervisor or city council person for the northeast corner of San Francisco, which includes at its heart Chinatown. And I was first elected in the year 2000 and have served for most of the last 20 years as the supervisor for the northeast corner of the city. But my first experiences in Chinatown go back to when I was growing up. I was raised in the area, and my parents used to take me as a kid to Chinatown. But over the last 20 years, I've developed deep connections. As a matter of fact, when I looked at the book, I mean, how many people did I know? SRO residents who were in there, the Reverend Fong, the leaders of the Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association, our district captain who is Chinese American and was actually his family, the Yik family was raised in the neighborhood. So it's always kind of a special time for me when I get to visit the neighborhood. I was honored. I mean, as somebody who cares deeply about the community and it's a big part of my day-to-day life, I was honored. And of course, the first thing I did was I flipped through the book to find my picture. I just have to say, the book, because it really addresses every aspect of the community in a way that is not superficial, I think it's going to be a source of pride for Chinatown. It's certainly not the first book about Chinatown, and it's not the first beautiful picture book about Chinatown, but its timing is perfect. It really captures the essence of what is more than a neighborhood, but is just a remarkably intact community. And I know when it starts appearing in shop windows and people's, coffee tables, it's going to be a source of great pride. If there's any good news, Chinatown has amongst the lowest transmission rates, not only in the city of San Francisco, but the United States of America. And for a number of reasons, the Chinese American community was ahead of the rest of San Francisco in mask wearing and other precautionary measures. And so the good news is very few people have gotten sick. And the neighborhood continues to take care of itself, delivering meals to folks in need. But everybody's suffering. Businesses are hanging on by a thread. But Chinatown is a remarkably resilient community. And as is set forth in the book, I mean, whether it was the ghettoization period of the 1800s and the paper sons and paper daughters, or its resilience after the 1906 earthquake. So in many ways, I actually feel like Chinatown in some ways is going to be better off because it is so much closer knit and has so many institutions, nonprofits, family associations that are deeply committed to the neighborhood. As a matter of fact, relative to residential and commercial evictions, the rates in Chinatown are much lower than the rest of the city because so much of the building stock is owned by family associations that are not going to displace people who can't pay the rent in whole or in part because of COVID. So, I mean, look, this is like the most miserable time that any of us can imagine, but my hopes for Chinatown are higher than the rest of this society.